What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jesus Conde, and today we're going to be looking at some of the progress that I made this week on my personal project Outdoor Tale of the Witch Queen, which is a comic webtoons. Is already available for free on the link in the description, but this what you're looking at right now is the remaster that I'm doing of all the panels little by little for the print version. It's gonna be printed eventually, I hope so, and this is the part of the process to make those pages look way better than it used to look in the webtoons. That is available right now. If you wanna check it out, please do, and leave a comment in the webtoon page if possible. If not, you can leave it right here or write to me directly on my Instagram for any feedback that you may have. These pages are really fun to revisit. Some of them I have to take some stuff out, and some of others I'm adding a lot of new stuff. And in this case, I'm basically just redrawing a lot of the outlines just to make it look a little bit more polished overall. Fixing some proportions sometimes is necessary, adding some stuff in the background as you can see right now. Nothing too crazy, it's just trying to make it look a tiny bit better than it used to look before. And some of others really need some work. some of the panels are very basic and they're being almost redone. A lot of them need way too much new background, and eventually because I noticed some stuff on the episodes from comments from people and also some friends that have read it. There's actually a streamer that read it live on a Spanish streamer, and I picked up a lot of things while she was reading it and people's reaction on the live stream about the story, and some stuff that I thought it was important, it wasn't important at all, and some stuff that I thought it was not that important, people really got into it. So it's kind of a mix of stuff that I have to fix. And in this case, I'm trying to redo a lot of the shadow work that is kind of missing in some of the panels, and also adding a lot of background that you will see that in a couple of minutes. I hope this kind of content is not so boring for you, because I know some people just wanna see tutorials and new stuff and how to make things, but I felt like recording all this process because I wanted to document my road to finishing that comic. I think it's gonna be interesting. Here especially, a lot of the background work comes really easy because I'm using some assets that I created specifically for making this comic. Some people have asked me where did I get them. The answer is I made them myself, and they're actually available on my Gumroad page if you want to get them yourself. It's very cheap, to be honest. Sorry about that, I just got a notification on my phone. It's very cheap. It's kind of I didn't want to get too much into doing something complex, so it's basically just images that you can copy paste on your own project, and some of them just got white background behind them, so it's pretty easy to use overpose them one on top of the other without having their own masks on them. So you can superimpose, I guess is the word. I'm not sure what the word is, to be honest, but you can put one on top of the other and just keep making your compositions with those assets, and it's gonna be super easy and fun. And to me, it really helps to feel that background with things, and not having to be drawing all the time, especially because the background is just the background, you know. It's not, unless it's something that is important that's going on, I have to draw them from scratch, or in this case basically trace them, because sometimes I use a lot of 3D models, but it's gonna be a combination of using assets and drawing all the time, everything that can get me faster to the finish and it looks good. In this case I'm trying to put a lot of effort on the way the panels are, because before this page originally was crazy. It was like a circle kind of a thing, and it had an illustration in the middle that you will see later in another video. Then I changed it to the Webtoons version, which is the one that is available right now, that you can see right now if you just click on the link in the description. And then now that I've changed a lot of stuff, and then I come back to the page format, I'm having to either take out or add some stuff. And basically this one didn't have the fairy in front of him, it was just a small square, it's a small panel of him, just him looking at something, and I just added the fairy, the Nebra, in there. Sometimes I just draw from the scratch without any reference, and it kind of looks good, but sometimes I do need a lot of reference to do these drawings, and for that I use either Dasa Studio or Photos, because it's really easy for me to post them on 3ds Max. I'm not talking about tracing, although you will see a lot of that here in this channel. I do a lot of tracing for the comic book. It's just the faster way for me to get the comic book done, and the 3D heads of the characters. Eventually on this video you're gonna be able to see some of that modeling, because I'm having to model a lot of new characters lately. We enter a new phase in the comic where there's a lot of new characters coming in. This phase I have to draw from scratch, but it doesn't look really good, to be honest. There's a lot of I was too lazy to just bring the 3D model in there and paste it and do the tracing. But anyway, there's a lot of new characters coming because of something that's gonna happen later, and instead of just doing everything all at once, I wanted to introduce the characters really slowly, and because I tend to do the head of the character in 3D, so you're gonna see modeling of 3-4 new faces. I think I still have to do 2 more, but I save them for later, because I want to work on it in the order that I'm drawing them. So I needed a couple of heads modeled to do the next panels, which I already started on the Webtoons, and I had to model 3 girls that are gonna be the elite archers on the kingdom, on the military side of the kingdom, and they're actually people I know. The base from them is people I know. I asked them to take pictures, and it was really fun to include them actually on the project. It's always fun to include some of your friends and family even on the project, because it's kind of like a way to keep them involved, talk to them all the time and stuff like that. So in this one, as you can see, I just put a bunch of trees in the background and then just started erasing the silhouettes of the characters on the foreground. That's pretty much what background work is needed on these panels, because it can be anything, to be honest. There is not a really important background. You just need to know that they're in nature, they're talking, and that's it. And honestly, the dialogues are gonna cover a lot of that. So in this 3D model that I'm starting here, this is for one of the girls that I have to do. The name of the character is Yawiseta, which is a streamer in Spanish, and I just wanted to model the head to be able to use it as a reference for the comic. and then I will use this same face as a starting point for the next ones. So this is kind of a head base that I'm gonna be using for that. So it's really fun to be able to do this in 3D. Honestly, like I can do so much stuff later with this if I want to. I have all the heads of the main characters, and I already have ideas of what I will do with like sculptures and stuff for 3D printing and stuff like that. In this case, I will have at least the bust, I guess is the word, of all the important characters that I'm gonna be involved in the comic book. This what you're seeing is my raw recording of the screen. Like there's no editing here, which I don't know if is a good idea actually, but you can see that it doesn't actually take that much of a time. I will say each phase, like this one, because it's the first one that I actually had the idea to just use it as a base for the others. Took a little bit more, but I will say it didn't take longer than 40 something minutes. Maybe it got to 50 minutes, but the other ones didn't. The other ones are close to 25 to 30 minutes tops. This one is, I started with the base of the other one, and it looks like that. It looks pretty cool already, and I'm basically just looking at the photos of the friend and trying to get close to that result, you know, in terms of shape. How does the face look on the side, how's the nose proportions. Although I got some feedback from the first girl that I modeled that her nose was more like an Egyptian nose, and I should change a little bit. She doesn't want to look so different than real life, although they already look a little bit different though. Like it's not like these people is like this. These hairstyles are completely nuts in comparison with what they actually have in real life. And I wish I knew how to record time lapse before, because this is completely, I'm just realizing this is completely crazy to see this at this speed, and it's kind of crazy actually to see all this like that. Excuse my ZBrush skills. I'm not a 3D modeler. I'm just trying to feel a problem, like to just fix a problem that I have with the proportions of my character. So I just thought of this as the best tool to be able to work. But it's not like I'm a professional modeler or anything. It's just stuff that I do as a concept artist, to just have a reference for when I do my stuff, or even get straight renders from it, you know. And this is the fourth that I did. Is a male, so I had to change a lot of the base, and I should have saved it. I should have saved this male base, but I didn't. Anyway, there's a lot of changes on proportions. One that I didn't do immediately that I should have is the neck. The neck should have been like thicker and more muscular and not so thin. And what else can I tell you about the male? Well, the nose is completely different also. There's a lot of stuff that I have to change. This one, as you can see, there's a timer in the bottom right for some seconds. There I already had like 17 minutes working on it, but it's already halfway there. So it's pretty cool to be able to model these things that fast. And as I say, I'm gonna be drawing on top of that later for the comic, so it's not like it's it has to be a perfect skull. And even if I use it for 3D printing, it's gonna be a small print, so it's not gonna be like super detailed printing or something. Well, I mean, it's very detailed. The 3D print that I have is 4K resolution, so it gets some pretty decent sculpt, but I haven't used it in some time because, you know, work and being busy and all that. And this one, I wanted to make a man bun in the back of the head, was kind of conflicted about how to do it, but eventually I think I made it enough, well enough so it looked good, at least from the side. And that is pretty much the, well, actually it's not the entire progress that I did this week. Now we're gonna jump to a couple of frames for the comic, but that's basically most of the progress that I was able to make. Alright, so this is more of the progress that I was able to do this week. I managed to do this couple of frames. It didn't take too much time, to be honest, and it's pretty much just taking the faces, put it on the 3D models that I made in DAZ, poses for the characters, and putting them on the environment. That actually had help with that environment. I had a friend working with me for some time, and I asked him to help me out with the background for this scene that is already being used in a chapter before, like it's not specifically done for this chapter, and there's a lot of assets involved. You always try to make things as fast as possible, and pretty much these 3, it's from the game that I work on. I'm not sure to be honest, but I may have gotten from there or something in one of the renders that I've done before. I think so, I'm not sure. Anyway, and this is basically the process of making one of these frames, which is just having line art done and then shadowing, and that's basically all it takes. Just having 3D base, tracing heads, figuring out the of course I have to figure out all the poses and everything before the drawing, like knowing what's gonna happen there and everything. And pretty much, and this is the same shot basically. They open up a little bit because they're getting ready to do a demonstration of their skills with the bows, and they're ready for the obstacles that are gonna be in the background. So in the left you're gonna have one of the girls is gonna go running to one of those poles that are on the front, and it's gonna have to jump and turn and fire the arrow through the space that is there between the logs. The middle one is gonna be jumping between the logs, then kind of like rolling in the ground and shooting from a lower height to that specific space that is in the middle. And the third one is gonna have to basically just crawl in the ground real quick, and also shot from a really low angle, which is actually the worst, I think, for the archers to be shooting an arrow from the ground. Is basically, I don't know how possible that is, to be honest, but this is a comic book. You guys know we can exaggerate things and make fun of real life or physics so we can do whatever we want basically. And yeah, that's basically what's gonna happen on this demonstration and this scene that I'm gonna be drawing hopefully next week without any trouble. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Here you can see some of that same work, but in a more relaxed manner. And if you want to read the comic, please check the link below on the description, and please follow for more content like this if you like it. I hope you like it. Have a good day and see you next time.